LeVettte Fuller, Shreveport City Councilwoman. Big meeting today. Well, the work session today, and then maybe a vote on the $7 garbage fee tomorrow. Hey, Ms. LeVettte, welcome back to Kiel. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm good. I'm still I'm kicking it at the house drinking coffee.
Good.
So what's the plan for today? What do you think you guys are going to talk about? And that, of course, okay, let your evil-sounding giggle interrupt me. What do you think's going to happen today?
That wasn't evil, but yeah, we've got a lot to talk about today. We've got some cooperative endeavor agreements that are on the agenda too. And one of them that I'm going to ask some questions about is with Crawfest, which is in my district. And it looks like they're asking for a little more assistance than they used to. And that's like a for-profit situation. So I think my good friend Matt Snyder might be a little annoyed with me today about that.
Let's talk garbage.
I know. That's what I want to talk
you
about.
know, we want to talk trash with you today. You, in our studio a week or so ago, you said you're not inclined to vote for any fee until you see how, specifically where and how the money is going to be used. Have you seen that yet?
Nope.
So I haven't. So you're a no vote tomorrow.
That's what it looks like. I mean, that's what it looks like to me. I need more information. And the other thing about it is the $7 does not cover the entire cost of the actual program. So if we're looking to offset the entire Department of Trash plus the raise, we can't do that at $7, which means we can't have an enterprise fund, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I need an enterprise fund. I need that money secured in its own fund, and that's going to have to be more expensive. So I can't vote for this. But I also don't want to create this bigger burden on the taxpayers with a fee, a mandatory fee. Haha. I don't want to do that to people when I don't know when I don't know exactly where all of this money that's going into the reserve, what that's actually for, other than the bond rate.
This is
right?
not. Pardon me, Miss LeVettte. This is not. I'm not hearing a lot of optimism from you and your coffee in your kitchen this morning.
Oh, I'm optimistic. I mean, I've got a lot of. I believe that we can do better. You know, that's where my optimism
okay, that's a generalization. Pardon me. What do you mean by do better?
Yeah, does that mean more tax on me?
What's the amount? And I know that we're asking you this first, so you're kind of out there on the limb by yourself. But Mr. James Fleury last hour said, "I want to see cuts." You say, "I want to see."
I do want to see cuts. I want to see cuts. I want to see what we can do at every department to run a little bit leaner and to prove that we're being really responsible. I want to see what's going on with different contracts that we have out with other, with different lawyers and stuff, where we've got these different cases. We've got a lot of money going out to cover things. I'm wondering how much of that stuff really needs to be outsourced and how much of it can be done in-house, and if it's creating any other burdens. Now, I'm going to disagree with my colleague, James Fleury, about the tech position. I do think that that's going to add value to our city, and it's going to help us in several different departments where there's overlap with what Keith is going to do. And Keith is understaffed, and he's planning on running kind of lean. So I don't think that the cost of his salary is something that's actually burdening us right now.
But as far as the garbage fee goes, pardon me, it's 5 or 6 or 7. At the end of the day, you don't think that's necessarily too much. You just want to see there's got to be other stuff first. Is that unfair?
I think that's fair. I think we've got to do other stuff first, but I also think that the $7 is it may not be as big of a burden as the $18 on people, Robert, but here's the deal. I'm going to go back to this. We cannot create the enterprise fund at $7.
Walk me through that problem. Why can't you create the enterprise fund, i.e.
An enterprise fund needs to pay for itself. The money going in needs to cover all the expenses.
Oh, okay. So
and it has to have a reserve as well, right?
So and
then that way that money is going just to trash, and then we've got the money that's in the reserve is still in the reserve.
Pardon me, just so I understand and everybody understands, what you're telling me is to create the enterprise fund, it would have to be, the fee would have to be at least $8.5 million because that's the current cost of running the sanitation department. Do I understand that correctly?
You're picking up what I'm putting down. Yes.
I'm pretty sharp when you're. Well, I can smell your coffee.
LeVettte.
Yes, ma'am.
Brother.
I'm a sanitation worker. I've been hearing you're going to help me. You're going to help me. You're going to. Sayonara, I'm going across the river. Sayonara, I'm going to DeSoto Parish. Bye-bye, Miss LeVettte. You're doing nothing for me. What are you answering?
That's not true.
What are you saying to those folks?
I'm not saying that I don't want them to get a raise because, and this is the thing, we're not just talking about giving raises to one department right now just because they're like squeaking wheels. We're talking about the market driving them to other areas where they can get a better salary. And we do need to be competitive on the pay in order to keep them in Shreveport. But we can do that for $400,000.
Can you find that $400,000 somewhere else without adding another fee on my butt?
That's the thing that I'm not sure about, and I want to work that out. And the problem I'm having right now is reconciling the recycling issue.
What do you mean by that? How so?
We don't want to put more into our landfill. We do have people that want us to be environmental. I am personally someone that wants to be environmentally conscious. However, our current relationship with Pratt and with
Republic,
thank you, not enough coffee yet. With Republic means that we're spending $250 per household for recycling that we're not getting a really big return on investment out of. I would be inclined to do this, and I think this is like the thing that would make me happiest. If we were able to halt recycling, take that $250 that we're already collecting, and put that towards the raises for our solid waste workers.
This is obviously something you've discussed with other city council people, I would assume. Are you sort of a...
And everybody goes quiet on me. They all kind of look at me funny. So I'm not sure where we are with that yet.
So you're kind
I actually suggested that a couple of weeks ago, that we ought to do that and look at the recycling and see if it's working.
Yeah, you feel like you're kind of a lone ranger on that one at this point, or do you think you can sell it?
I feel like, and this is me being way more candid than I ought to be on the radio right now. I don't want to do something drastic and quick that hurts our relationship with Republic or with Pratt. That's one thing. I don't want to create a bigger burden on our landfill without an assessment. And all of a sudden, we're all talking about plastics right now, and we haven't done enough on the free market side to show a demand for less single-use disposable plastic. Like, that's something that we have to do as citizens, not through a government mandate. But at some point, we need to be talking about that because we are trashy. We're creating more on the landfill, and that stuff's not going away. And now I sound like a hippie.
I asked Mr. Flurry at the end of our conversation if he had a message for Mayor Perkins, and he said Dale Carnegie classes. Do you have a message for the mayor today?
My dad had that book when I was little, and I was like, what is this? And, you know, Dale Carnegie's cool because he started, like, we have the Carnegie libraries and, like, all over the country and stuff. I'm not really at a point where I feel like I need to tell the mayor anything. He's a grown man. He's going to make his decisions, and we're all going to walk. You know, we're going to all do our best to walk with grace and make good decisions. He going to do what he got to do, and we're going to do what we got to do.